teach you how to make an animation in Photoshop using some very simple tweens. Okay, so what we're going to do first of all is we're going to load up the file we're going to use, which is called Superman PSD, and you can see it right there on my desktop. But I'm going to go to File, I'm going to go to Open. Let me just quickly minimise that. There we go. File, Open. I'm going to navigate to where I've saved it. I've saved mine on desktop. You'll have to find where you've saved yours. There's my Superman PSD. I've selected it, and I'm going to click Open. And there we go. We can see it's a very simple Photoshop file. That's it right there. Very important, we're going to be doing some work with layers in this one, so if you've opened Photoshop and you can't see your layers, navigate to the right hand side and double click where it says layers to open up your layers tab. We can see there that my Superman file consists of Superman as a text layer, which is the text there. If I click the little eye icon, I can make that disappear. There you go, it's still there but now it's invisible. And then we've got Superman himself. We've got clouds in the background, and then we've got a sky layer right at the bottom. What we're going to do is we're going to make our Superman over here fly from left to right, and we're going to fade in the text Superman, and then we're going to export that as a movie file. So what we need to do first of all is we need to open up and enable Photoshop's animation settings. To do this, go up to where it says Window, click Window, and then click Animation. This will bring up the animation settings at the bottom, and we'll see on the bottom left hand side I've got my Photoshop file, a picture of it there. These are going to be frames within our animation. Now a frame is, think of it as 1/25th of a second. Video is made up of lots of pictures, one after another, and when those pictures are changed from one to the next very quickly, it looks like movement, so moving pictures, so like a video. So at the minute we've got one frame. Down here we can see it's got 0.2 seconds and a little arrow. I'm going to click that. This setting here we can change it to set how long each frame plays for. I'm going to set this to play for 0.1 seconds, so a tenth of a second. It could be 1 second long, 2 seconds long, 5 seconds, or half a second, or 0.2. I'm going to set it to 0.1, and there's our first frame. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go over here. With this frame selected, I'm going to go to where it says Superman. I'm going to click my Superman text layer. I'm going to go to the opacity. I'm going to click that little arrow next to opacity where it says 100%, there's a little arrow. And I'm going to drag the slider down to 0%. Fantastic. Right, next thing we need to do is we need to make a second frame in our video. At the minute we've only got one, it lasts for 0.1 seconds. I'm going to go back down to my animation toolbar down here. And down here you'll see there's a little icon, and if I hold my cursor over it, it says duplicate selected frames, and that's what we want to do. We want to copy the frame we've got there, so I'm going to click that, and it's made a second frame. Click on that second frame, and then what we're going to do first of all is we're going to move to our toolbar, and we're going to move Superman. So we need to select the move tool, which is the arrow with the compass next to it, so I'm going to click that. I'm going to select the Superman layer, which is, we can see down here we've got the little picture of Superman there, that says Superman next to it. I'm going to select that layer, and then I'm going to click and drag Superman over here, and I'm now going to click the Superman text layer above, and I'm going to move the slider up to 100%. There we go. And now I've moved Superman over, I've changed the opacity of my Superman layers. I'm also going to click the clouds, and I'm going to move the cloud layers around a little bit. There we go. There we go, just moving them ever so slightly. There we go. And now I'm going to just make sure you've got your second frame clicked. Go over to, there's another little arrow with some lines next to it on the animation toolbar down in the bottom right. I'm going to click that. That opens up some options. The option I want to select is Tween. Tween's an animating tool. I'm going to click Tween, and what Tween's going to enable me to do, or what it's going to enable Photoshop to do, is it's going to work out where Superman is in the first frame and where he is in the second frame, and then it's going to work out how it needs to move him between those two. And where it says here tween with previous frame, we want to use this first frame as our reference for where it should start and the second frame for where it should end, and frames to add is how many more frames it's going to add in between frame 1 and frame 2, and then it's going to animate how it gets from frame 1 to frame 2 over the amount of frames you select here. Now I've set 25 frames there. 25 more frames, that'll be fine. We'll select that. Actually, we'll set 50. And there we go. So 50 frames. What we'll do is it'll add another 50 frames. So we've got 52 frames, each frame running for 0.1 second. So that should be about 5 seconds, shouldn't it, the animation? So it'll work out how to make a 5-second animation. I'm going to click OK. And we should see now. Hey, there we go. We can see now all these new frames have popped up down the bottom. And we can just scroll using a little slider bar from left to right on our frames. There we go. I'm going to scroll all the way and I'm going to click on the first frame. See, it's moved it over. And what I'm going to do now, you see there's some little play settings down here. So on the bottom of the animation toolbar, you can move that toolbar up if it's a little bit tricky. There we go. Let's spread that back out. You've got a little play button there. If I hover my mouse over it, you see it goes green and it says plays animation. So I'm going to click that and then it will show me my animation. Now we see Superman's moving from left to right because we set 2 frames, one with Superman on the left, one on the right, and then we tweened it. And when we tweened it, Photoshop worked out how to move Superman from left to right, so it worked out all the bits in between my 2 frames. And we can see also that Superman text is gradually becoming more or less see-through, so we can see it more. And we can see we also moved the clouds, didn't we, from left to right, and we can see that those are moving. There we go, very simple animation there. When that's done, we're very happy with that. I'm going to click the stop button. And what we need to do now is we're going to save this as a movie. There we go. Well, I didn't want to stop there. Go to File to save it as a movie. Go to Export, and we want to choose the Render Video option. And when we choose Render Video, we can name our file. I'm going to name this Superman Movie. We can select the folder we're going to save it to. So I'm going to save mine to my desktop. So I'm going to choose my desktop folder there. We can change what settings the movie file has. At the minute we're going to export it as a QuickTime movie. We can choose AVI or MPEG-4 if we wanted. MP4 is normally pretty good because it's a small file size but high quality. But I'm not going to mess with them. And we want to export all the frames. We can see here the range is all frames. And we're going to click Render. And now Photoshop should save this as a movie file to my desktop. It will need to work for a couple of minutes to do it. And if I just minimise Photoshop, there we can see there's our Superman movie on the desktop. Fantastic. And there we go, we can see there's our movie file. We can now upload that to YouTube if we want, or do whatever we want with that. There we go. So if I quit play there, and there we go. Fantastic. And that's how we can do a very simple animation in Photoshop. Good luck. I look forward to seeing all your animations, and I hope to see you soon.